If you're like a lot of other people who have been trying to find a graphics card over the past couple years that hasn't been extremely overpriced, way above MSRP, everything in between, then you've come to the right video because I'm going to show you various methods you can use and places you can try to look to find a good graphics card that won't break the bank. Now, the first option we have for finding any kind of graphics card is to check out this new website. Not essentially new, but they essentially came to light near the beginning of COVID because they were a medical supplier and they're starting to dabble into graphics cards now. Now, there's a lot of controversy about their graphics cards, as there's been a whole Reddit thread surrounding the validity of actually getting people canceling their orders because they're not sure. So if you want to check out Quest Reddit, it's on the r/graphics card, and you'll see tons of posts about people being concerned. But the varying graphics cards that they have available, as you can see, are definitely a lot lower than the prices you'd find on eBay, Best Buy, and they're a little closer to the MSRP value that you're looking for. Personally, I ordered the RTX 2060 Founders Edition, and I'm going to hope that comes around 4/28, April 28th to May 2nd, because that is the order update that they gave me. Now, if you're still kind of sketched out about this specific website, they've had phenomenal order tracking and they send you updates. I could ask to get my order status and they would 100% send me where the freighter is, the timestamp on when it's supposed to get into the States, and when they're supposed to start shipping out. So Quest.com is a potential option to get some decently priced graphics cards, although you'll want to be careful because I think a lot of them are already sold out. Next up on the list of potential options is eBay.com. So if you're trying to secure a 3000 series GPU, I would recommend skipping this part of the video as they're way too overpriced on eBay. But if you're trying to get your hands on a lower tier graphics cards, like those good mining cards, this is going to be a good place to look for those, as they're going to be around the 300 to 600 range. Cards I'd recommend looking up would be the 1070, the 1660 Super, or you can look at the 1660 if you have a lower budget, and the 1066 gig edition. Now, those cards are going to be good for mining, they're going to be good for gaming. I don't think you can necessarily run Cyberpunk 2077 and Ultra, but they'll pretty much cover most of your graphics needs. And so that's why I recommend eBay, and I would definitely recommend looking into verifying the quality of it, because you'll notice things like used, card works fine, slight fan vibration on startup. Personally, I wouldn't try to get this specific card, as it's not exactly something I would think is worth over $300 for. Up next, we've got Facebook Marketplace. I'm not too familiar with how many people use Facebook Marketplace. Personally, I've sold a ton of stuff on the marketplace and I found very well priced and good looking products here. For example, you want to keep an eye out for the product condition. Just like eBay, look for those lower mining cards such as this 1660 Ti. The condition's probably going to be a little lower just based on this amazing $300 price. Be very careful for things like $1, $4.99, as people list the price as those just so it could cover shipping, but usually in the product description you'll notice people might mention this is for bots only, no humans, which is very entertaining. The things to keep an eye out for, I'd say definitely this $600 1070, that's legit. I'd say this is legit as well, probably legit. So you're just gonna have to use your own discretion in looking for graphics cards on Facebook Marketplace, but I would 100% recommend checking your area and checking for anything that could possibly ship to you. Surprisingly, GameStop recently announced that they're going to start selling graphics cards on their website. And I went to the local GameStop near me and they mentioned that they're going to start off selling only online. But an option you guys might have is that if you go to a store, I'm not sure how many stores are doing this, but if you go to a GameStop store and ask for them to order it for you, and then once it gets to that store location, you could just pay for it there. That way you could essentially secure your card and not have to worry about botters or scammers. As of right now, it's a relatively new field that GameStop's diving into, even though they're going to the moon. While you're browsing their website, if you click on any specific graphics card, you'll probably notice that there's out of stock, and sometimes some of them might say something that in stock as of April 16th, or whatever date that they're getting them in stock. That way you can keep an eye on them better. As of right now, it looks like their cards are going to be going for the relative decently good MSRP value, 1660 for 300. It's a pretty good price, especially in today's time, so keep an eye out on GameStop. If you're out to venture to a store, ask to see if they can order one for you and you just pay it when you pick it up. Now, this is probably one of the harder ones to get your hands on, but Best Buy, surprisingly, does have graphics cards. They're usually out of stock. I went to the one in person, and they essentially said the only graphics cards they have are like 750s, so really, really low tier graphics. What I recommend you do is to first set up a Best Buy account, put in your credit card info, your address, etc. Second step, find all the graphics cards you'd be okay with buying. Go ahead and add them all to a list and bookmark that page so you can view it at the time they stock their online updates. I'm not sure on the time, so if you know when Best Buy typically updates their online stock, go ahead, drop it in the comments, help other people out. That way you have all the graphics cards listed here, and if you get on, say, 8 in the morning, you see one says add to cart, go ahead, click it. You'll already have your payment info at the top, and then you'll be good to go and try to purchase it before any scalpers or botters are able to get to it. Another option that you can thank a Redditor for being able to figure out was that they were selling graphics cards on Amazon. Yes, if you've looked on Amazon lately, you'll be like, dude, they're way too overpriced. They are, but if you go to the Japanese Amazon, if you go to different stores, I think it's amazon.co.jp for Japan, amazon.co.uk for the United Kingdom, you'll have to create a separate account. But essentially, you'll be able to find graphics cards for a lot lower price. Now, this method was a lot more viable early on in the year, as I was able to get a graphics card, a 1660 Super, for about 270 bucks per card, and I bought 2 of them. So I'm hoping that'll come into the mail before the end of April. But as of right now, those prices have gone back up a bit. But if you're desperate enough to find a graphics card, making a foreign Amazon account's probably not the worst thing that you can do. I would definitely recommend giving it a shot because, like I said, 2 Supers for 570 bucks total is an awesome deal because that's honestly around the price of just one here. And that's going to be a used one from eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and sites like that. Now, for the final options that you guys can go through is going to Walmart, Best Buy, Target, and just looking through their gaming PCs. I remember one of the employees at Best Buy told me that people are just straight up buying an entire PC and just taking the graphics card right out of it. And chances are, if you do something like that, the graphics card is going to be worth 60% of the computer, and you'll be able to have the spare parts laying around for any other kind of build you want to make. So personally, if I was going to do this method, I'd buy pre-built great components, take the graphics card out, put it into a mining rig, use those components from my own personal computer, throw in my best GPU into there, and then I have a brand new computer with a phenomenal GPU and the most up-to-date components. Alright guys, thank you for checking out this video. I hope one of these sites or locations is able to help you find a graphics card that really works for you, isn't over $1,000 ideally. And lastly, if you're into content that's short, sweet, and to the point, definitely check out my channel. I've got other things like how to flip your camera in OBS. 48 seconds, that's all it takes. No shameless plugs, except for this one. And yeah, you guys enjoy. Happy gaming, happy mining. See you later.